and this is Jetstream.
And this is Techie Guy.
And today, we're doing something different. Let's talk about Transformers Animated. Yes, you remember this, right? If not, then I'll remind you that it's rightfully known as the Big Chin Universe.
Here comes the Crimson Chin.
The Autobots being colourful, deep and interesting, and the Decepticons being somewhat colourful, deep and interesting.
This show has a lot to offer, and it doesn't have a dull moment to speak of. It pulls you in right off the bat with great characters.
Speaking of which, let's look at our Autobot casting, starting with Optimus Prime, not voiced by Peter Cullen. Yes, buy your pitchforks here.
Oddly enough, however, it's pretty welcomed here. Let me explain. Okay, this is his normal voice.
Even so, we don't want to attract attention in case the Decepticons are still out there watching. Teletran 1, scan the local life forms. We can take on their appearance and blend in better.
And then let's try it with the original Prime's voice.
Follow me, Autobots. Into the crevice. We've got to investigate the source of those energy emissions.
See, it's pretty strange, isn't it? Such a deep, friendly, commanding voice coming from someone that, well, weirdly enough, isn't meant to be someone all that important. Yes, this Optimus Prime isn't meant to be that important.
Optimus is an elite guard dropout who is in command of misfits. Optimus tends to always get put in his place when it comes to that blowhard jerk that makes fun of the fact that he didn't make it as a VIP.
Don't start, Sentinel. Just put me through to Ultra Magnus.
Now how could a third-rate rockbuster possibly merit the Autobot Supreme Commander's attention?
Mind you, it could be kinda epic to have the original Prime voice put Sentinel in his place.
Oh, you've made some big-time blunders in your day, Optimus, but this one tops them all.
Be gone.
You tell him, Prime!
And we got Ratchet, the grouchy old mechanic. I'm pretty sure this is where the Ratchet we have today comes from, but Transformers Prime Ratchet is slightly less intense than this Ratchet.
Yeah, it's like someone put a scrapping big pile of human poop in his morning energon nose.
You glitchhead! You're gonna destroy the whole city! You wouldn't dare do something that stupid!
See? Very scary.
On the other hand, he has a very deep and interesting backstory where he saved a Femi known as Arcee, who looks a lot like her G1 counterpart.
While also trying to deal with a Decepticon known as Lockdown that has not only given him a battle scar, but has taken his weapon as a trophy, given this old-timer other reasons of being grouchy and coming to terms with his mistakes. It's simply learning he has to cope and not lash out at others.
Then we have Prowl, the ninja. Yes, ninjas, why not, right?
Ninjas! Why'd they have to be ninjas?
He's kind of the square peg in a round hole in this group. You got someone who's mastered a form of fighting that's no longer needed to fight, and yet is forced to be amongst those who, well, don't fight. Simply put, at the start he can't trust his life to his team, and is seeking something to do. He's like a new weapon after the war has ended. An edge that hasn't even had a chance to dull. And I think it's clear that he gets no real pleasure from fighting himself, as it's more a means to an end, which I think actually makes him quite interesting, especially in contrast to characters who are okay with their lot in life. He seeks to be rather enlightened, striving for a goal that he doesn't even know yet.
Wow, that was deep. Much like your head, anyway!
Oi!
Which brings us to Bumblebee, the energetic young guy that tends to be the main bot friend for fangirls everywhere. Seriously, it's kind of a thing. You know, the guy that tends to be young or young at spark, act like a childish fool, but good-hearted deep down. It's pretty much animated Bumblebee. What's wrong with you all? I mean, Hotshot's alright, but He's no Starscream! I mean, seriously!
Jets, it's not the time for the Starscream bit.
There's always time for Starscream! He's so amazing!
Sorry, I had to mute her microphone for a bit. And last but not least, especially least, we have Patrick Star? Wait. Otherwise known as Bulkhead.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
He's a bot that was raised on some Energon farm, which makes me raise the question, do they have space cows?
So, is an Energon farm kinda like mining for Energon, but with animals? Please feed my imagination!
Jetstream, it was a joke. There's more than one kind of farm. There's wind farms, solar farms, energy farms.
Dream killer!
Okay, well, with that aside, he does end up being more intelligent than you would expect him to be, as well as wanting to actually get into art.
And that's our team of misfits. They crash-landed on Earth, which, now that I think about, how often has that happened in every universe we see? And we meet the most awesome human ever! Sorry, Sundeck!
Oh, hi, every childhood female character I potentially had a crush on, also known as Tara Strong.
Glad you said female, because I'd hate to think you had a crush on Timmy Turner. But I digress. Sari is pretty much the human of all humans. Dream of beings. A little girl.
The little girl!
Okay. Try not to spoil much. She's more than meets the eye. And it's awesome. With that said, she bears a very special key. And before you say it, no, it's not a Keyblade. Kinda wish it was now. That would be freaking awesome. No, it is in fact part of the Allspark. Nevertheless, is mostly used to patch up her friends. It can also be used to somewhat control tech and machinery and provides upgrades.
And now, we're gonna talk about Jetstream's favorite topic.
The Decepticons! First of all, we have Megatron, not voiced by Frank Welker. Roll up, guys, pitchfork, solid here. Fire included when you buy free sticks of wood. This is a good way to get rich.
Capitalism at its finest. Well, as expected, he's extremely meh.
What? Who told you that?
He survived a freaking bomb blowing up on his back, and, well, but I can't really say that I find him all that intimidating exactly, but I'll give him a break and say he's extremely good at being deceptive.
And I hated every moment of that humiliating charade. But no more.
What have I done?
He might have a witty remark to say, being somewhat intimidating and dangerously powerful, but I think I enjoyed the side villains much better because of how over-the-top their personalities were, and enjoyed their responses to each other, which made Megatron's character seem kinda not as fun.
But then again, maybe they wanted us to take this Megatron seriously, but you can have him be serious and still be enjoyable at the same time.
I mean, look at Starscream, for example. He's got that intimidating look, he's got the power and the drive. When he talks, it's like...
It's because of me! Silence! Did you just say Megatron? Did he just say Megatron? There is no Megatron! Megatron is offline! Terminated! I did it myself! Saw it myself! I'll help you downgrades. But only if you pledge undying allegiance to me.
Techie, what cartoon are we watching again? My head is getting so confused!
Ah, well, at least it can't get any worse.
The name is Blitzwing, insect. Remember it, cause it's the last thing you're gonna hear before I express my feelings in song. The itsy bitsy.
What in the name of all things goodly and sweet is that?
Well, fine, at least they can't get any more goofy.
It's not a glitch. It is Megatron, and he commands us to deliver him the key.
By Primus! Yeah, you're hearing them right. These are our Decepticons. Can you just see yourself taking these guys seriously? And strange and goofy as they are, my point still stands that they are pretty much more memorable than Megatron is. We also got Black Arachnia in on this.
Voiced by Cree Summers, who also voiced a lot of female characters I had a crush on.
Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Their mission is to win the war, and to do so, they want the Allspark. To get to the Allspark, they gotta get through the Autobots, who happen to be guarding it since, well, it found them.
The only way we were able to win the Great Wars all those centuries ago was by keeping the Allspark out of the Decepticons' hands. So it was sent through a space bridge, hidden in some far-flung corner of the galaxy where no one would ever find it.
So you're saying we found the Allspark? The real Allspark?
No, I'm saying it found us.
This show is, for sure, better than you remember. Example being, there are surprisingly some dark imagery which you could have overlooked before, such as, well, this gruesome event.
Dude, what the frag? He's holding a corpse! That's messed up!
For the kids.
For some reason, the show brought up more questions than answers, like, did they all have no names until they was given them to this really ticked-off jerkwad?
You are nothing but a bumbler! From now on, your name is Bumblebee!
Bumblebee?
You got a problem with that, cadet?
Sir? No, sir.
I mean, they had schools. Elsie used to be a teacher. No, really, it's canon.
The first day of school is always scary.
What the show also had was the opportunity to explore and expand on characters. Say what you will about G1, a lot of characters were never developed. Animated, however, shrunk its cast and gave each character arcs and ways to develop. Even incidental once-off characters get developed. And the animated style gives them extra movement and flow, leading to some really great fight scenes. Yes, it looks a bit odd compared to G1, but I think that's to allow us not to compare it to G1. G1 was its own thing, and animated is its own thing.
But isn't it the same universe? Prime is watching G1 as part of history.
Jetstream is called a modified canon, don't let it fry your circuits.
But it really confused me!
Well, that said, despite the goofy looking animation, it does, however, fit in nicely with a lot of dark moments, such as, well, crushing, stabbing, infections, and death.
Indeed. There are other stories that get told in the show being pretty enjoyable and fun. They didn't seem to annoy anyone exactly either, but I can say the ending is a little forgettable. And without saying who, they go as far as to kill off one of the main characters, which I gotta say is pretty brave to do in any show. But the cartoon story just seemed to go from light-hearted with awesome fight scenes to a really serious story with really freaking dark moments. And it can work, but it needs to be done right. I just didn't think it fitted in here, making it a very odd balance, which could have been why a lot of things could have just gone over your head. However, this is an exciting and thrilling experience for any Transformer fan to enjoy. Like and subscribe for more content, and remember, by controlling the web, I control the world. End transmission.